we get to drink some beer, right? I've left him speechless once again, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you virtually live from the Beer to Whiskey Studios high atop Barley's Tap Room on Washington Street in downtown Greenville, South Carolina. I'm Russ Heaps, and welcome to this episode of Big John in 5. That's where I get my good buddy here, Big John Richards, to pick a beer from one of Barley's 72 taps or 50, 60 cans and bottles. We sniff it, we sip it, we get bits about it. John gives us a little background on the brewery, and sometimes we even get a little brewing history. And best of all, we get to drink some beer. Right? I've left him speechless once again, ladies and gentlemen. So, John, what do we have?
So we've got one of our local beers down here that I don't know if it leaves South Carolina, but it's made down in Charleston by Frothy Brewing Company. And they've been brewing beer since 2013 down there, so which is actually fairly early in South Carolina's craft beer scene. We're playing catch up on the whole brewing market.
Right.
That's unsurprising. But we're getting some really, really good beer, and these guys have been making some really interesting beer for 10 years now. And a lot of different off-the-wall flavors and ingredients and stuff. And some really very classic stuff too. And this is a robust porter that they brewed called Wake Up Dead. And it is...
it's going to happen to us all one day.
Right. It's listed at 6.66%.
Clever.
Very clever, very clever. But it's a nice, big, roasty, traditional, robust porter. So you got a real clean body to it, really manageable alcohol content, but big, deep coffee roast flavors, all the way into espresso roast. I mean, you can smell it from across the room if you wave it over towards yourself. It's got an aroma to it. So, but it's still a porter. Still basically a real easygoing beer, great food beer. I mean, this is the kind of beer that, you know, the plowman's lunch of ham, big hunk of ham, a hunk of bread, and a porter. That's what that's what this is designed for. And I'm excited to drink some of it. I think we should give it a shot.
I agree. I concur.
I concur. Do you concur? Doctor?
Doctor? Texas Miss Lily.
I love the roast on that nose. It's just such a big roast note without getting it acrid or smoky or bitter smelling, you know.
Yeah.
You can't smell bitter, but you kind of get the sense of
Yep.
it. You know, it just smells like fresh roast. Yeah, that's so clean. Man, that's a 6.5%. It's plenty to get your attention, and those things go down as easy as they can possibly go. And I'm just now really starting to feel the actual bitterness on my tongue of the roast, because it's so clean up front.
Yeah, and it's I get a big explosion of the roast on the back of my tongue.
Yep.
And then it just sort of...
Yeah, it's fading down, and it's a nice easy fade. It's not like it vanishes or gets mopped away. That bitterness sits back there and just sort of hovers.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, talking over it, and that's that retronasal stuff again, I'm really, really starting to get the very bitter coffee roast. Like fresh roasted coffee. And this is, you know, almost a Starbucks level of roast.
Yeah.
That I'm getting now that I've sat here with it for this long and haven't had a sip. But it's lingering. It's staying there for a long time.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And I like it.
I guess that's what you want a porter to do.
You do. One of the things that, I mean, for years, we would be in our beer circles, we'd just be like, well, if it doesn't have coffee, it's not porter.
Right.
You know, and not coffee beans added to it, but if it doesn't taste like coffee, it's not porter. And that's not official BJCP guideline.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not far off. And these beers are designed to have that, you know, it's the black patent malt that goes in there, those deeply, deeply roasted malts. And the crazy part is, this beer is still probably 90 or 95% base malt, just traditional pale malt. And then to add all this bitterness and all this color, they probably only added as much as maybe 5% of the total grain bill as that black patent malt. And it just crushes everything in its path.
And you're right, it's a roast. It's sort of an indistinguishable roast note. It's not like coffee or...
Yeah. It's not like drinking coffee. It's like... I don't know. Like infusing. It's like...
Here we go.
Give yourself up here. Have you ever...
Probably not, but go ahead.
I don't even know why I'm asking this question. Have you ever just chewed instant coffee? It's a great way to wake up.
I guess.
I don't think it's the best way to start your morning, but it is a fantastic way to wake up. But it's an aggressively roasty thing to stick instant coffee in your mouth and just chew it.
Right.
But these are the things that dumb people like me do, partially to see what'll happen and partially to see what it tastes like.
But I wouldn't identify this as a big coffee flavor.
Right, and I kind of brought that up because chewing instant coffee also doesn't taste like coffee.
Well, instant coffee doesn't taste like coffee.
No, there you go. But it has that. But when you taste it, that ground up coffee bean itself, it really, really punches you in the face with how roasty it is.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's what happens when you put it in the glass. It just infuses all that flavor out there and turns it into something that resembles coffee. But
A coffee-like substance.
coffee-like substance.
Like Tang is an orange juice-like substance.
Right. I think they probably had the same origins. The space program.
Yeah.
All right, well, that was your history lesson and your little glimpse into the life of Big John. What else do we have to talk about this beer?
I don't know. You have blown me away. You have laid me out.
Well, Frothy Beard's one of the Charleston institutions down there. They've got a great tasting room with a bunch of taps and a big open space and everything you'd expect and like.
Is it downtown, or is it out in the?
It's not out in the sticks. It's in Charleston proper, but it's like It's
Because
not right in downtown.
I've never run across.
It's not right in downtown. You have to get out away from the city, but it's still in Charleston, not like in Johns Island or
Right.
Mount Pleasant.
Anything else?
Man, enjoy. Let's send these people on their way.
Yes.
Come on.
So damn lucky. See you next time.